Hello, James once again. I'm gonna do something that I haven't ever done before, and this is something that I want a lot of young men to, to take note, especially if you got sons and nephews, and particularly when they're athletic, basketball, and this can go for anybody. But particularly, I want to point out this to young black men when they go into these schools. I'm gonna give you a couple stories here of what happened. And when you're going out and you know whatever girlfriend you mess around with, just be careful. Here's a story that was a while back. You probably know this guy, right? Ezekiel Elliott, and he was accused back in he was accused by this girl at the time of domestic violence, but it kind of find out it was made up. Come to find out that she has some issues, but it almost cost him his career in being the NFL. And it was really something because that was back in 2016. This was at Ohio State, but he ain't the only player that got falsely accused. In the recent, this happened. These guys, they were accused of kidnapping. They were accused of kidnapping a young woman, and they said that it was northwestern Columbus, Ohio. They claimed that it was, but to find out they were Ohio State football players, right? Now a lot of people gonna probably think they got off, but they didn't get off. They got kicked off the team. But the later to find out, these players were innocent. Here's another player. Two more players get accused of rape. This young man was named Grant Conley. He was accused of rape. He was accused of rape. Later to find out, he was innocent. He was innocent of innocent. I say this to say this. Young men, young black men, you gotta tell your sons. I understand when the first time when they go away at college, whether it's can apply to any man, young man. But you can't mess with Becky Ann's daughter. You have to be careful. And I like when Dion kind of pointed this out. But I'm gonna give you the news clip of what happened. Cause these young men almost got sent to prison for life. And we gotta tell young men, you gotta be careful. You can't do everything just because you get to a star status.
Surprise! 4 days after the rape and kidnapping trial began for two former Ohio State University football players, the pair have been found not guilty.
Amir Reep and Jocelyn Witt, now 24 years old, both were accused of raping a 19-year-old woman at an off-campus apartment in February of 2020. The The accuser told police she was at the apartment and had consensual sex with Reap, but wanted to stop and was forced to continue, with Witt also taking part.
According to court records, the woman was then recorded saying the act was consensual. We spoke with Amir Reap and his attorney, Dan Sable, after receiving the verdict today. They tell us it was the testimony and credibility that helped sway the jurors in their favor.
They heard from his accuser, and they heard from Amir, and they heard from Dawson, and it was clear who was telling the truth and who wasn't, and the jury picked up on that.
Amir Reap says his focus is now pressing play on a life that had been on pause. He plans to continue his college education. We also heard from the attorney representing Jason Witt.
In a statement, attorney Sam Szymanski says in part his client is, quote, relieved and eternally grateful to the jury for conducting a careful review of the evidence before reaching its verdicts of not guilty.
I want to say this, young man, be careful who you get with. And I think fathers, if you're a young black father and you got an athletic son, you got to give them that talk. Some got to give them that talk and let them know you can't be doing no knuckleheaded stuff like that. And watch who you be around with when you advise them to go to college, because this stuff has happened before. And Ezekiel, luckily, by the grace of God, he got up out of it. And luckily, he had someone to back him up, because there was some white students that said this chick has some mental issues. But Connolly, he got up out of it. He was found innocent too. But I say this, that you have to be careful who you associate with when you go away at college. You got to be careful. Young brothers got to be careful. Young bloods. Don't do that to any woman. But you better not do that to no white female. And even though we're in the 21st century, don't do that to any female. But particularly, do not do that to a white female, because they look forward to slamming a young black man. And this has happened before. Remember Brian Banks? Those of you remember Brian Banks, but I think it was a black female that did this, but you got it, and he lost about 10 years of his life. So I say this to say this. Even though the women be rubbing on you because you physically, your popularity, but brother, you gotta tell these young brothers that they gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, man, because they know that you NFL potential. You know what I'm saying? And they know. They know you NFL potential, and them shit's gonna be on you like right on rice when you come to a big school like Ohio State. And so you got a naturally talented young athlete, and you're a black athlete, and he good. He need to give him that speech as young men, because you don't want to end up like that. And you make one mistake, one little mistake, they kick you off the team just like that. So just be careful, and I think, I don't know, sometimes people don't tell their parents about because not everybody's fair and everybody's equal when it comes to something like that, especially. But yeah, that was something. I didn't know about this one. But this, but yeah, this here. In fact, it was on ESPN. The Garen Conley story. They found out the rape allegations was untrue. This is ESPN. This is back in 2017. So he lost his end of career. So you ever go to them big schools like Ohio State? Tell your young men, be careful. And he's actually gifted and talented at basketball, football, anything. He can't do everything like they do.
Just been filed. Cleveland police are investigating. According to the report, Conley met the woman in a hotel elevator and invited her back to his room. She alleges the rape occurred there. Friends of Conley who were present told police nothing happened. Conley is a projected first-round pick in this week's NFL draft. And Bill, I will turn to you first and simply ask, what happens when this type of information surfaces the week of the draft?
Well, this is more than a rumor. There is some finding of fact involved. And the most important part of this is, as you assess the young man's potential to be on your team, the question of whether or not he's free to play is at issue here. So this causes people to readjust their thinking in many ways.
I talked to a couple different teams today, and they were scrambling. One team was grabbing a few people and let's get together and figure out what we need to do to try to get as much information as quickly as we can and try to have as many answers as we can by the time we get to the draft, because Conley was very likely to be a first-round pick prior to this news coming in. There is no really any character baggage or anything else that was lingering out there with him. He was considered one of the cleaner players in the draft and really was rising up draft boards to the point where I thought he had a chance to be a top 15 pick.
So, yeah, I don't know if he ever resumed his football career, but this is on the, prior to that. In Ohio, there's people been wrongly convicted of Ohio. That state goes back to 1990. It's Innocent Project. But yeah, man, when these young men, you can't do that. A woman says no, leave her alone. And is she drinking and y'all at the bar? I don't care. She said that she would do anything to freaky with you, and she all over you and da 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 da. Man, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because if something happened, and not only in the case with Ezekiel Elliott, I forgot to mention this to you. The same girl told him, because they got into a disagreement. And she said, "Well, I'm a white woman. Who do you think they're gonna believe?" He actually, it was something set on a level of that line when that incident happened. So, but I don't care. They could be all on you and say, "Oh, you cute and you fine," and this is probably was the case. And when. They be all over. You can't. You have to kind of like no, unless she's your steady girl, man. Gonna be your steady girl. Don't do it, bro. I mean, don't do it. Don't do any female, even black females. But you definitely don't want to do a white female like that. You definitely don't want to do a white female. because luckily here, just by the grace of God, they had a good attorney to get him out. But it's like they do stuff like this happen here, man. And when they slam, when a black man does something, it goes to 96 degree. But here's another one. Here's another player back in. Oh, hold on. It's another YouTube.
A promising college football player's life dreams shattered as he was falsely accused of rape. His accuser, 19-year-old Nikki Uvino, told police that she went to a party where two football players forced her to have sex in a bathroom. She later admitted that she had sex willingly and was afraid that if she admitted that, another student wouldn't want to date her. Malik St. Hilaire speaks out here exclusively tonight for the first time about the case. But first, Trace Gallagher live in our West Coast newsroom with the backstory here. Hi, Trace.
Hi, Martha. At the time, Nikki Uvino was attending Sacred Heart University in Fairfield, Connecticut. She claimed the incident happened at an off-campus party, that two Sacred Heart football players pulled her into a bathroom, took turns holding her down, and sexually assaulted her. Uvino claims she repeatedly told the men she didn't want to be there, that she had friends waiting for her outside, and to please let her go. Both men admitted having sex with her, but said it was consensual. The players were not arrested, but one lost his scholarship, and both said they were pressured to leave school while they awaited disciplinary action. Then Nikki Uvino drastically changed her story, admitting in a sworn statement that she made the whole thing up because, quote, it was the first thing that came to mind, and she didn't want to lose another male student as a friend and potential boyfriend. The document goes on to say Uvino hoped that when the other student heard the allegation, it would, quote, make him angry and sympathetic to her. Uvino was sentenced to a year in jail for falsely reporting an incident and interfering with police. Malik St. Hilaire, one of the players wrongly accused, says he spent 18 months trying to keep his name out of the news, but finally he felt compelled to appear at the sentencing to talk about the significance of Uvino's actions. Watch.
My life has been altered and shaped in ways that nobody can even imagine. I just hope that, she knows what she's done. The fact that my life will never be the same. Like, I have anxiety, I have, PTSD from this.
Uvino made more headlines during her sentencing by appearing to roll her eyes and smirk several times. Her attorney claims she was simply moving her eyes in innocuous ways, adding that she was forced to stand in handcuffs for 30 minutes and couldn't get her hair out of her eyes. He called reports of her bad behavior a manufactured storyline. Martha.
Trace, thank you. Joining me now exclusively, Malik St. Hilaire and his attorney, Frank Riccio. Welcome to both of you. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
So you're a football player. You're at Sacred Heart. In high school, you were a wide receiver, most valuable player, team captain, right? Serious about what you were doing. So you go to college, you go to this off-campus party, and like that, your life has changed. What was your reaction when you heard what she was accusing you of?
Well, to be honest, it was crazy. That was the biggest type of accusation somebody can make. The only thing close to that is murder. And that was just to have a sister and a mother and just people that I care about, and somebody to accuse me of that, it was life-changing because, people don't look at you the same way. People don't talk to you. People, everybody, especially because of how everything played out, I didn't even have a chance to even clear myself, so automatically I'm looked at as something and someone. And
so you felt like everyone automatically believed her?
No, not automatic. People that knew me, they knew better. But just people, if you didn't know this story and you just heard of it, all you hear is somebody is accused of that. And because that was the case, it was just really hard to go through things, to be an accusee of that.
What did her claim do to your life?
Really, it really did a lot. At that moment, I had to leave school. We were suspended from school, weren't allowed to attend classes, and then when trying to get back into school was very difficult because we no longer had the aid that we had, scholarships that we had.
Did you lose a scholarship?
I wasn't on football scholarship at the time because that year I decided that semester actually was I was trying to transition into communications, but I was on scholarship. I had received scholarships from Harlem Week and from things that I did within the community of New York City. So from that, it was just crazy because I didn't even have opportunity to gain those things and to transition my life into what I wanted to transition into.
Tell me about the moment that you learned that she had recanted her story, that she was admitting that it didn't happen that way.
Well, at that moment, it was a breath of fresh air, a little, because it was like finally she's telling the truth. Like finally she's coming out and saying what really happened. Because but still at that moment, no, I was still out of school. I was still having difficulty. So even though she may have come out and tell the truth, the damage had already been done.
Were you angry?
I was less furious. I was more confused and just trying to figure things out. And at that moment, I just had a lot of pain in me. And what I did is I really just, turned my pain into passion.
Do you think that young men in these situations on college campuses get a fair hearing? Do people listen to their side of the story?
I mean, I think that was one of the issues was the fact that when this happened, we didn't even give a statement. We had no opportunity to even give a statement when it happened. So we were suspended.
They kicked you out without asking you to come explain what happened?
Was not asked a question about what happened before being suspended from school. So that was, yes, extremely unbelievable.
I think one of the issues, too, is the Title IX process in general.
Yeah.
You had a guest on your show on Wednesday that spoke of this very issue. These Obama-era policies created a very low standard of proof. I'll call it no standard of proof. And I know Betsy DeVos is working on a new set of proposals that will add due process, add the ability to raise a standard of proof and raise the ability to cross-examine and present evidence, review evidence. That does not exist in the Title IX concept right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable that no one asked you or the others your side of the story. You were told to pack up your stuff and leave?
Yes, immediately. Pretty much packed up my stuff that upcoming week, because it was on a weekend, that upcoming week packed up my stuff and had to figure out what to do from there.
What's your next dream? How are you trying to put your life back together?
Well, really from this, what I've been doing is just putting my pain into passion, and my passion has been music recently. I've been putting out a lot of music. I've performed in New York City. I've really been trying to turn my life around and put this into, use this situation to better myself. So I'm putting this situation into my music.
Does it make you think twice about your interactions with women?
Oh, no doubt. It gives me, definitely, I have, like I said, it's just some anxiety. And there's a lot of different things that go on now when I'm around women or when I'm just around any situation, just in any environment. Because I did nothing wrong, and then all of a sudden I was getting recourses as if I did something wrong. So,
Malik, you're a good young man, and it's good to meet you. Thank you very much. I wish you luck. I wish you all the best. And thank you, Frank, for coming in tonight. Good to see you both.
Well, what you think? But yeah, man, some people need to have that talk with their sons, their nephews, and say, hey, I don't care. Be careful when you go to these parties, these bars, whatever. And my girlfriend like you and everything. Wait till she gets sober. Wait till she get. But don't think no woman drunk. No woman period drunk. Because when something happens, oh my God, then they feel like she get embarrassed, and then he gets the blame. And you see, she just gotta roll her eyes and say, oh, she was just doing that because to get the hair out of her eyes. Bullshit. That's bullshit. She did that smirk like, oh, it's like she didn't even think of no consequences. She didn't give a damn. Didn't give a damn that she ruined his life. And I don't blame him for being leery after going through something like that. But I say this to say this, as black men, if you got sons, you gotta give them that talk, man, for real. give them that talk. You got to give them that talk about this because it's a serious when they go away at college. Because people are something else. People are very something else. But I'm gonna play you another story. And not only I'm gonna tell you, but I'm gonna let one of my favorite content creators, Runaway Slave, tell you what happened to a story called Barry Washington Jr. You young black man, you need to listen to this story.
Save money with Snapshot ProView. Instant savings on your commercial auto insurance
Yep.
and
From
vehicle
18
management tools
on
at
up
no extra
to
cost.
40. You need to listen to this.
Assalamu alaikum. Okay, so what I had to do for this channel is create an email list. The reason why is because due to the nature of the content of this channel, I don't know when the content is going to just mysteriously disappear or this channel will be shut down. The email list is just for the followers or the subs so that you know where these things are just in case this mysteriously happens. So just go down to the link in the description of the video, click join email list, put your email address in there, and boom, you're good to go. That means that I can also send you other information that I cannot post here on YouTube, and you'll also know where the channel is and where the content is in the event that it does disappear. Okay, let's cook. Okay, so this story right here deals with a brother by the name of Barry Washington Jr. It happened in the year of 2021 in the state of Oregon. Now, this story right here is one that I believe that our youth can learn from. And when these things happen to our people, I think that we should look at these incidents and learn from them, try not to repeat these things and grow. Now, one thing that I didn't realize about this story when it first happened and even up to date is that I think that a lot of our people are doing the youth an injustice by not keeping it 100, on the up and up with this story, and just not discussing what really needs to be discussed. Now, I do agree that people have to do what they need to do as far as, the protests or fighting for, the right results or fighting to make sure that the justice system looks at these things right, or, the state, the county, the cities where these things happen. Yes, people have to do what they need to do. But in this story, a lot of things weren't discussed. And I think it's kind of wrong that we are not presenting this thing to the youth properly. Okay? Now, Barry Washington Jr., 22 years old, brother, state of Oregon, okay? Now, what happened in this story is Barry Washington Jr. was taken out of here by a white man by the name of Ian Cranston, who's aged 27. What happened was on September 19th of 2021, Barry Washington Jr. was hanging out at a nightclub in Bend, Oregon called The Capitol. Now, at the same time that Barry Washington Jr. was there, this dude, Ian Cranston, and his white girlfriend, Allie Butler, were also there. Now, at some point during the night at this nightclub, Barry Washington Jr. went up to the white girlfriend, Allie Butler, and gave her a compliment. Or he hit on her, he tried to talk to her, whatever, It was one of those. So, when Barry Washington Jr. went up to the white girl and said something to her, she replied that she was flattered, but she has a boyfriend. That's what they said, okay? Now, there are rumors going around that Barry Washington didn't take this answer, and just keep it moving. That, he kept on pressing her a little bit. Now, and then there are people saying that Barry Washington Jr. didn't pursue anymore once she said that she had a boyfriend. I don't know, but neither response makes this story have any point. I mean, whether it was the one way or the other way, that's not the point of this story, the angle that I'm coming from, that I'm looking at, okay? We do know for a fact that Barry Washington Jr. did approach this young lady, the white girlfriend, Allie. He said something to her, I don't know how she really responded, but he did say something to her, and it was definitely agreed upon amongst everybody that he either gave her a compliment or he tried to talk to her. Okay, meaning he tried to, he tried to get with her or whatever. So after Barry Washington Jr. did this, right? Ian Cranston, the boyfriend, he comes and he has words with Barry Washington Jr. for trying to get at his girlfriend. Okay, so Ian Cranston, he comes, he sees what's going on. I don't know if it was right in the middle towards the tail end. I don't know, but sometime during or after Barry Washington tried to talk to this girl Allie, his girlfriend, he steps over. Ian Cranston, the white boyfriend, and Barry Washington have words. They go back and forth. They get into some kind of scuffle. Now, what's interesting about this is during this scuffle, they say this guy Ian Cranston is smoking a cigarette the whole time. So he's like, cool. So at some point there during the scuffle, of course, Ian Cranston, he calls Barry Washington the N-word. Then he pulls out a firearm and he takes Barry Washington's life. They also said that during this incident, the girlfriend, Allie Butler, pulled out her phone and recorded it, and she could be heard taunting Barry Washington Jr. Barry Washington, the black man who just tried to get with her. Okay? So, it said that Ian Mackenzie Cranston, age 27, was arrested on September 30th after the county grand jury indicted him on 6 charges connected to Barry Washington Jr.'s killing, including second-degree murder, first-degree manslaughter, second-degree manslaughter, first-degree assault, and 2 counts of unlawful use of a deadly weapon. So, of course, him and his people, being Ian Cranston, they're trying to justify this by saying that it was self-defense, saying that Barry Washington Jr. was beating him up so bad that he feared for his life, he thought his life was in jeopardy, and he had to use deadly force. They came up with some kind of head scan from a professional saying that, Ian Cranston had serious head injuries, whatever. They doing what they got to do. That's typical of them. They're trying to come up with something or saying, let's get us a professional and say this and this happened because the beating was so severe. So, after Ian Cranston was arrested, the people responded with an uproar because he was initially arrested and he was only charged with second-degree manslaughter. And with this second-degree manslaughter charge, he could post a $10,000 bail and go home. That simple. 10,000, y'all. Shot this man, killed him at the club, 10,000, home. And, the uproar was in response to, of course, the white community in this town in Oregon. Of course, they're looking out for the best interest of one of their own, hoping he can get it off. That's the reason why he was only charged with this second-degree manslaughter, and he was able to place a $10,000 bond and go home. That's them looking out for their people, white people, So in response to that, this got some attention from the BLM. The people got loud, they got upset, they hit the streets, and they demanded that he be hit with these more serious charges, and be rearrested. And the outcome was he was rearrested. Okay? He was rearrested and he was going to be charged. He was indicted on the more serious charges, which is what the people wanted. After he got out on that bail, wasn't feeling that. Like, nah, he's not supposed to get that off like that. So he's re-indicted on more serious charges. Now let's just get to the outcome of this situation. The outcome, Ian Cranston was found guilty of first-degree manslaughter, second-degree manslaughter, first-degree assault, and unlawful use of a weapon. They found him not guilty of the most serious charge, which was second-degree murder. So this was not murder. According to them, this was manslaughter. So basically, in a nutshell, this 27-year-old Ian Cranston, he will be out of jail before he's 40. Actually, me personally, I believe that he'll be out before the age of 35, tops. He's 27 now, white dude, manslaughter charge in Oregon, a young black man, 27 to 35, he getting out. He getting out. I think he's getting out before 40. So, you know how this goes, y'all. He does his little time in jail. if he can make it out. I don't know how the state prisons are in the state of Oregon. Maybe he'll join one of the white supremacist groups or whatever. Maybe he's already with one. They'll protect him. Maybe, I don't know. But after he gets out. His family, the white community, the little gun club, the little elks, the horn clubs, and everything. These white supremacist groups, they'll have a nice bag waiting for him, and he could go on and live his life no problem after doing this. He's definitely getting out before 40, I believe by 35. Now, I have to say, people, condolences to the family of Barry Washington Jr. They lost their young man, this young relative, this son, this nephew, this brother, this cousin, or this friend, or whoever Barry Washington Jr. was to them. Now we know that Ian Cranston was in the wrong in this incident. He was not supposed to pull out a weapon and take Barry Washington's life. He claimed self-defense, but this is what white people are always going to do. Since this thing worked out for Zimmerman, they were inspired by that. Anytime something happens, there's a white person and a black person, hand-to-hand combat, the white person starts losing, they're going to pull out that gun and use it, and they're hoping that they can get off like Zimmerman because it works like that sometimes. It even worked out for this dude, Ian Cranston. Even though he's going to prison, he's getting out. You know what I mean? So this is one thing that people have to consider also, This is how things are going now. That whole Zimmerman thing, that lit a flame in them, that made them feel like, okay, we can get this off. We taking an L, all we got to do is pull out okay. So, now, this is what I believe the youth can learn from this Barry Washington situation, okay? This is what they can learn from it, because when I looked into this, a lot of people are just not keeping it real. I'm talking about our people. They're not keeping it real, y'all. And they're comparing this thing to Emmett Till, saying that there's a history of black men being lynched and things like that for trying to talk to white women in America. But let me make this clear. The history of black men being lynched for trying to talk to white women in America was usually based off of white women lying. And if it wasn't based off of a white woman just lying, it was based off of some white man who wanted a black man's land or his business. He wanted his farm, and what they would do was get a white woman to say that, oh, he did this to me, he did this, so they could have an excuse to arrest him,
He had
put
charged
him in a local jail where one of
accused
their
of
cousins
rape.
has the keys at. Their cousins and their uncles has the keys. This black man is in jail for nothing, like
Falsely
people like
accused
Lynn
of rape.
Shaw and others. The lynch mob goes in there and takes him out before this man even has a chance to go to court and present his facts to the accusation of him doing whatever to this white woman. That's how that thing happened. That's the history of lynching black men in America. They try to compare this thing to Emmett Till and stuff like that. This situation is not that. First, this happened at a super white place in Oregon. Super white hangout spot. White people everywhere having a blast. Barry Washington was there. Now, the year is 2021, so Barry Washington can do what he wants. Young man, probably doesn't understand what the religion of white supremacy is at that time and age. Yeah, I would doubt it. Not a good idea to be hanging out in a spot like this where white people are drinking. Okay? Now, Barry Washington did make a decision to go there. That does not mean that he deserved to die for this. Not at all. Nobody should have the right to take another person's life like that at all. So don't get it twisted. I'm not saying Barry Washington deserves it. No, that ain't what it is. This club right here allows black people inside. Barry Washington decided he wanted to go. Now we know many of us are like, nah, this ain't time for that. This not what it is. I'm not going here. But he went. Now next, when Barry Washington Jr. is there, he approaches this white girl, Allie, gave her a compliment or whatever he said to her. This is what we know to be a fact,
To those who stare down the vacation cold and say, nope. Rock Biz Donuts with Alka-Seltzer Plus cold and flu relief. Also try for Busy Fast cough relief.
And after that, giving this white girl this compliment, or trying to talk to her or get with her or whatever, that was a bad decision that ultimately led to him losing his life. That's what it is. It was because he tried to talk to this white girl. Now, as black men in 2021, in an Opie nightclub, an Opie white nightclub in Oregon, black men, you got no business giving a white woman a compliment, yo. You can't do that, yo. You can't do that. This could be deadly right here. And it was for Barry Washington Jr. A nightclub predominantly white, people drinking in Oregon. You shouldn't feel that comfortable or at home or at peace enough where you could just go give a white girl named Allie a compliment. Now, I'm still not trying to say this is okay. People will say, oh, well, he has the right to do whatever. Oh, yeah, he do. He do. He can do whatever he want. Nobody has the right to take somebody's life unjustly, but we know what it is. We have to adapt to what it is, man, for our own safety. No, this man didn't have the right to take his life, but this is what it is. This is America. This is a young black man. This is a white dude with a white woman at a white club, you know? We don't belong in these kind of environments trying to talk to no white girl. Now, I would assume that maybe this is just what Barry Washington and some of the other brothers who went to this spot, maybe that's what they did. They hit this spot to try to talk to white girls. Maybe that was maybe that's what this spot was for. Young black men go to these spots, maybe to try to talk to the white girl, you know? But black men, any of the young black men that don't understand this, or black men, a lot of you already know this. You know this already. You know that you do not have to try to talk to a white girl, try to holler at a white girl, or give her a compliment if you really into some white girls. If you really into trying to get with white girls, if that's your whole thing, if that's what I'm not telling you, I'm not suggesting it, or nothing like that. But if you're a black man, and you gotta go give compliments or try to holler at these white girls, you know what I mean? If you're a black man, and these white girls ain't trying to get at you from the jump being aggressive,
right,
you pretty much gotta push them off of you or stop them from touching you. If that ain't the case,
like at college,
they don't like you that much, yo.
Right.
This ain't your night. This ain't your Becky Magnet night, yo.
Right.
Brother, this is not your Becky Magnet night.
Right.
It's not meant for you to be in there trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? You know, as a black men know when you go somewhere, you don't have to try to get with no white girls, man. They coming to you. They coming to you. You pretty much got to push them away from you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And they're more aggressive, more physical to where they feel as though they can touch you.
Yes.
Especially when they start drinking. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. This is what happened with the college players.
It's like when you hear this story, and you like, this young black man, he tried to talk to a white girl. I'm like, huh? Then he gave her a compliment. I'm like, no, that's a no. Nah, he shouldn't have been doing that. It ain't your Becky Magnet night, man. For you young men, when you out there, if you really feel as though this is something you gotta do in your life, you know what I mean? This is not a wise decision. I'm just telling you, it's not a wise decision to go to this spot from jump anyway. But you're still gonna do what you wanna do anyway. But it's not your Becky Magnet night if you gotta go give a white girl a compliment. That ain't how it is, man. That ain't how it is. But this white girl here, Allie Butler, she was with her white boyfriend. She responded, told Barry Washington no. That's embarrassing that's embarrassing to be rejected by a white as a black man. That's pretty embarrassing. That's pretty embarrassing. But you know, that's a whole nother topic. But anyway,
I'm gonna go into that.
The white dude, the boyfriend Ian, he got upset. He got upset. He said something. You know what I mean? The white girl stood with him. That's her boyfriend. And this is what happened. The white boy responded to Barry Washington trying to talk to his girl. Now, I don't know what the case is in this situation with Barry Washington and this dude Ian and Allie. But I do know this. In many of these cases, these white guys respond like this because their white girlfriend, right? A lot of times these white guys respond like this because their white girlfriend told them already that they had slept with a black dude in the past or
Boom.
had a black boyfriend.
Boom.
This is what they told her
Boom.
because
Boom.
she probably said, yeah, you know, I slept with a black guy one time or two times when I was at, you know, University of Minnesota. I was at Virginia, whatever.
I'm gonna stop right here. I've experienced this. I made a story a long time ago about a neighbor, but he's spot on with this one. That's why when I would go out, even when I was in my 20s and 30s, and I had friends that were white, but I would never, if I go into a bar and it's mostly white, or even somewhat mixed, I would not talk to a white female. Because especially in a predominantly white bar, that's just suicidal. Because when they see something, they see red. They do, and what are you going? That's true. I don't know how some black men feel about a white man and talking to a black chick in the bar. I don't know how that go. But a black man into a predominantly white bar, talking to a white woman, and you really taking a chance. I'm trying to tell. I know this for a fact, and so it's like, and people going to hear all no, because that subconscious racism comes up when they see with their eyes and they perceive it with their mind, and they go on a stereotype, so they feel threatened because if this goes back to the history of it, goes all the way back to the plantation. It's the truth.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I was at the University of Oregon. He was on the team. Whatever. You know what I mean? But when these white girls tell these guys this, because that's the question. All white guys ask the white girl this question. If you have any white people who you know that are actually honest with you, ask them and see.
Mm-hmm.
White guys, they're going to get with a white. They always ask them, "Hey, have you been with a black dude?"
Yeah.
Sometimes when these girls say yeah, they're being honest.
Yep.
These white dudes get mad, and even if they get with the girl, they don't let it go.
Yep.
They don't let it go.
He's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And anywhere they go,
yes,
the white dude, he thinks that his white girlfriend is always looking at black guys. Very insecure.
Yes.
If this happens right
Oh
now.
my God. Yes. Yes.
You know what I mean? She's looking at the same black guys
exactly
that look like the ones that he cheered for.
And she knows
every
that.
Sunday and Thursday.
And she knows that.
Football season.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's very hard on the psyche of these white guys, knowing that they asked their white girlfriend, who they looking at to be this snow queen or whatever, have you been with a black guy? And the girl tells the truth and says, yeah, in a lot of these cases, you know. And
I've experienced it. I
that's
know
the question
too.
that they all ask them.
Yep.
You know, any white people that are honest with you, that respect you a little bit, they'll tell you.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
That's the question.
That's true.
Have you been with a black dude? And even if they still get with that white chick, they're still mad and they're really insecure about that. So anywhere they go, they think that she's really looking at black men or black guys, you know. And he's always looking at him and cheering for him too when he watches football on Tuesday and Thursday. So
or
it's
basketball,
really hard on the
baseball,
psyche, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But anyway, right? Regardless of what was going on with this dude Ian and the white girl Allie, I'm just giving a possibility of what it could be and why Ian Cranston responded the way he did. That's all. That part is an opinion. Well, what I just said was an opinion. That's the truth about the white guys ask these girls. That's the truth. They asked the white man asked the white woman. He always asks her if she's been with a black man. But I'm just saying, in this case, I don't know if that's why he responded like that. You know what I mean? I don't know their past. But anyway, let's go back to the only thing that we can control, right? Young black man. Listen, you got to learn from this Barry Washington Jr. situation. Number one, beware where you're hanging out at. first, any spots where it's late night, it's alcohol, it's drunk people, you have to be aware. You got to keep your head on the swivel. You have to use situational awareness. You have to, be proactive in your thinking and be reactive, but already with a plan in your reaction. And that's anywhere. I don't care if you at the white spot in Oregon. I don't care if you in the hood, a spot where there's a lot of black. It don't matter. This is how you got to be anyway. You know what I mean? Because
yes,
contrary to what anybody believes,
yes,
especially in a younger age group, alcohol and young people don't really mix. I mean,
no, they don't.
there's more than likely going to be something negative that's going to happen. So in a predominantly white place, though, you probably shouldn't go there. With alcohol and you're the minority in there. It's a whole bunch of white people, white girls, whatever. You got to cut that out, man. You're gonna do what you want to do, but you got to cut that out. But if you do go into these places, if a young black man, if you go into these places, don't you dare ever try to talk to a white woman, yo. This is dangerous, man. As a black man, you should be rejecting white women, first off.
Right.
You go to these spots.
Right.
If you have to go up to a white woman, to get some attention and try to talk to her, if they not already being aggressive to you, you know how they are.
Yeah.
If they not already trying to put it's something wrong. It's not your Becky Magnet night, bro.
That's true.
Chill out. Chill out.
That's true. That's true.
You know what I mean?
Woo!
It's just for the people who just really feel as though they gotta have one. I mean, you gotta get over that, man. You gotta think about your safety. It's not safe for a young black man to be out in a predominantly white club, white dudes, liquor, trying to talk to white women. It's very dangerous. And and look what happened in this situation. So we know this is real. This is not extremism. What I'm saying is not extremism. It actually happened to brother Barry Washington Jr. He made a decision and put himself in a bad place. We can't control what these white people do, but we can control our decisions and how we respond and what we do. You know what I mean? It just wasn't tactical thinking to be in a white club in Oregon trying to talk to a white girl with predominantly white people. And bad things can happen. And in this case, look at what happened. The worst case.
I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna leave that right there. That's nutshell. And black men, just because it's a beautiful white woman, it doesn't mean that all white women want a black man. I'm gonna state that for the record. Not all white women are attracted to black men. You need to find them attractive. They might be nice to you. They might say, "Hon." It doesn't mean that they want you. That's another thing, because they just like our black women. There's black women want their black only. White women want their white men only. So we got to get out of that. Got to get out of that mindset too. And just because you meet one, and I don't care if you live in a big city to a small town to a rural area, the same rule goes. It's the same rules go, because especially you out in them little towns, them little rural towns in America like we have in Ohio. If you're a black man out there, you know, that's just your woman, and some people, a few people might be cool, but you do get them looks. I know how they do. I know how they some of them might take you in, and you think like that, but it's that segment out there, that subconscious racist ones you're gonna come across, along with the indirect ones. So I'm just telling you. So I want to dispel that myth. You gotta understand that, because, and like he said, when you go drinking and whatever, do your drinking at home. Seriously, be careful where you go. Don't go into no country western bar. Don't go into no rock bar. I'm telling you, And if you do, if you're a single black man, don't hold back. Your white buddies, that's one thing. But you do that, and then you come across some ones that subconsciously see red because they see you talking. talking to some white woman out there, and they subconsciously that racist pick up, they're gonna start a fight with you, and hopefully your buddies will have your back. Because especially if you one of these black, like he said, that you gotta have women, but and not like I said, that not all white women are into black guys like that. If they do, I mean it's a blessing. You might have found one, but not all. Don't. I'm serious. So please take this as advice, because what I've experienced that when I was away at school. I've experienced that, and I was in the dorm. And luckily, because they was like, man, you could have talked to her, man. But I knew I had sense enough to know I'm on the floor full of white dudes, and I had this white female come visit me, and they would get mad, and she was attractive, and they would get mad. Ooh, wait, they would get mad. You have to be cautious of what you do, and then when they get drunk, they come to joke in and satire and everything. Oh, you want one the big blood? Hey, how big are their penis? Here he come with the penis jokes and all this stuff and stereotype and everything. They do, some people do stuff like that, and that's how they build up. Oh, I heard about those black guys, and see when someone they feed it to that, they believe that shit, man. I mean, some people got that insecurity. Some white men have that insecurity. Oh, trust me, I've heard it because I had a neighbor when I was down in Cincinnati years later when I was like that. His wife told me, his fiance at the time told me, and they got into an argument one time. So what he was telling was he was actually telling the truth. It does. Black dudes, if we hear something like that, well, okay, you do, we don't. It is what it is. White dudes, when it comes to their women, oh, no. No. And they be like, no, I'm cool, we cool, hey, P is P, whatever. Yeah. But somewhere along, subconsciously, because they see their family members. That's what it is. It's all good until certain things happen. So take this to some advice. And if you have one, just be careful. I'm just saying, be careful. Be careful, young black man. Unless she's gonna be your wife, don't. I'm telling you, don't do it. Unless she's your fiance girl, and that white woman is not your fiance, because it's dangerous out here. And soon something jump off, pow. Because when that white judge sees, and it's a white male judge, he see color. The white chief police officer, they see color, they see their daughter. Fact. And they don't overlook that some still harbor that prejudice and racist stuff from the baby boom generation and my generation, Gen X. Fact. So this is what I'm talking to young black men. You be careful out there. Please be careful wherever you go, whoever you date, because you don't end up like these players, man, for real. And some of you parents and you got nephews, you need to give them that talk. That we all people, but in America, this is a subconscious racist. The court system is subconscious racist. Some police officers are subconscious racist. Some teachers are subconscious racist. Some people are subconscious racist. And then when you confront, I'm not racist, but then you get when soon someone catch them off camera somewhere, and it have to be somebody who look like them, record them saying something out of their pocket, pow. That's what it is. That's what I know. That's the subconscious racist I tell you about. And thank God those young men got out. That's why I made the video. And this is for young black men who are ball players or any of them. Listen to the ones in their 20s. I pray that you hear that message. This is real talk. Even though I understand your generation, but you got people in my generation and the generation before, they still see color. They still see color. Fact. And even though like it don't matter, we football because we music everything, but when it comes down to it, our country still sees color. No matter what, no matter we dance in the club, no matter we watching the football game, but when something comes up, everybody up like two teams go right to their respective corners. And I know this from experience. I know this for fact. So if you do meet a female and she white, make sure she's your wife. You a black man, you better make sure she's your wife. I'm telling you. Don't it ain't like it used to be. Cause if something like that happen, pow. And watch what towns you go into. But yeah, don't go in no bars. You know, no matter if the city, just because few people treat you nice, don't mean that everybody else in that town is nice. That's another thing we got to get out of that myth. Not everybody's nice. Someone's gonna be a racist. Trust me. They just probably don't associate it, and because they never had too many other people of different colors, and they never had that conversation. Because most things that they talk about, they don't talk about including other people of color. That's why until something rises up, and then it's like, whoa. Then you see that subconscious racist surface, but it come in direct racist because it takes somebody who look like them to bring it out of them to show them like, dang, why are you talking about, let's say LeBron James like that? And they, who you think he just think he's a better player? You're like, okay, you don't like it because of the player. Oh, he's making all that money and da. And it's okay, and then okay, but he's a good athlete, and it's subconsciously that jealousy start unrailing itself subconsciously. Watch who you associate with, my people. Watch who you associate with, and because there's codes. They code things really good too. They code things. But young men, you young black men out there, you be careful. I'm telling you. Listen to those athletes, and I think that the older athletes need to come and tell the younger athletes, hey, bruh, do what you do, but be careful, because you don't end up like these brothers, especially young black athletes. Because you're a young black man, your life is gone just like that. You see what happened, right? You see it, and he had to prove it. And there's gonna be still people out there that won't believe him. They that, oh, he's an athlete, and they'll make and say he got favoritism. Even after all that he been through, prove that he's innocent, they're gonna think that way. They will still see you as the demon seed, in other words, even when you prove it innocent. I made a passion. Sorry, this video being so long, but please tell you if you're young, if you're a black man, tell your young black men this. Tell them, be careful when they go out there drinking in bars with their buddies and their white whatever, because like he said, everybody jump on cold. And if you got one good person that say, hey, no, I saw what she did. That was the case with Ezekiel Elliott. The only reason why Ezekiel Elliott, because it was somebody white that had to contradict what that woman said. They said, no, we went to class with her. We know that she was a nutball. There were other students that did that. But his football almost cost him his football career, bro. And another one, I think, was Carlos Hyde. He was another player that got into a scuffle. It was caught on here in Columbus, Ohio. He almost went to jail, man. He almost went to jail. I don't know what's about what Ohio State players, man. Not just Ohio State, but hey, man, you can't do that stuff here, man. Even though Columbus is an integrated city, but when you touch Miss Ann, just you off the team. You know that yeah, but they got to suspend you. So I hope you take note to this, and please, ladies and gentlemen, teach your son, and you African American, please show your sons this video, please. So when they go out there talking to young women, all women, don't whether she black or she white, but especially when she white, Don't do Miss Ann like that. I don't care what she says. She'll knock your socks off. Is she drinking, bro? Don't do it. You'll end up like that. You'll get used, get played, and you see what happened to that young man. So until next time, take care.